farewell night.
What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Port Adelaide versus Adelaide Showdown 52. One last hurrah for 2022 and the finale of Robbie Gray's career. What a night it was in front of 50,000 people, perfect conditions, and we sent off an absolute legend of this football club. So let's get straight into it and review last night's game. I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely recovering from what was an absolutely massive emotional night at the Adelaide Oval. 50,000 people. It felt like a festival in that last quarter in particular. We were absolutely magnificent throughout the night, especially in the second half. The first half was kind of a grind, and you didn't really know which way the ball was going to swing. So we were tempered a little bit early on, but it was just nice to see get Robbie Gray's hands on it and see what he could do. He was very crafty last night. It was very much a Robbie Gray type game. 15 odd touches, and I kicked a couple of goals. He could have very much kicked 3, 4, or even 5 on the night. That's just how well his night was going at some stage, and countless amounts of opportunities as well that we tried to give him late in the last quarter, but unfortunately he couldn't kick a third in front of the faithful in that last quarter. There was that one stage he had the footy on the out of 50 on the flank, and well, we all knew he couldn't kick that far. Especially he struggles to kick 40, let alone 55 on the run. So to see that, he was contemplating it, and he had the full license to go for a barrel, but did the most Robbie Gray thing and teed up Todd Marshall, who kicked his 4th on the night, and it was just an amazing atmosphere in that last quarter. And it's quite emotional because Robbie Gray's been such a staple in our minds, in our selections, in our 22 for the last 16 years, and I've always thought, if there's one man that's going to fix a situation, or if there's one man that's going to create a moment for us to all to witness, it's Robbie Gray. And unfortunately that's now come to an end, and it's a stellar career. It was a stellar night to send him off, and instead of reviewing the processes of how we went about it, I think it's more so we touch on the celebration that Robbie Gray's career was. And at the end, when did the guard of honour by the Crows, very well done by all the Crows fans and all the Crows staff and players and coaches. They stuck around, did the guard of honour for Robbie, and they applauded. The fans in the stands applauded Robbie as well when he did his lap of honour, which was quite spontaneous. I didn't expect that to be done because Robbie obviously hates doing media and hates the spotlight on him. He's very much a team-orientated person, such a humble person, and we heard that in the interviews, and we heard that right across the week, and that's why it was built up to be such a special occasion. And for once, it could be having him as the spotlight. It was him in the middle of the ground with the Port Adelaide faithful applauding him as he went around. I think that touched a lot of heartstrings because that was the last time we got to see Robbie in a Port Adelaide Guernsey, and I definitely got emotional. Still thinking about it now, you have to hold your tongue a little bit because it is an emotional time, to a legend of the club retiring. And as I said, he played a ripper game, crafty. That first goal that went through in the second quarter to give us a 2-goal buffer.
Robbie Gray shot at goal. That's just, you don't deserve to have the ball stay in your 50 and make that selection.
The crowd will let you know. How's the swing from Robbie Gray, who says farewell with a goal to remember.
45 out. I said to my sister who came with me on the night, I said, this is not going in. He's not kicking this. We could dream about him kicking this, but he won't kick it. And he gave it everything he could. And it went the distance. And Charlie Dixon on the line, shepherding his opponent and allowing the ball to go through. The crowd went mental. That's the loudest I've heard the crowd all year. And I think, I think everyone can agree. Last night was definitely a celebration of a legend. And it felt like that. It felt like we were on top of the world. It was such a great atmosphere at the ground. There was no negativity, and it wasn't anything other than a celebration for Robbie Gray. And we know the situation we've had this year. We've had to accept what we've been as a season as a whole. 0-5, coming back, trying to be in the 8 and fighting our way through adversity and missing players with injuries and not finishing games off and falling short for wins, 2 goals or less. We were 2-7 for the year when it came to finishing a game with 2 goals or less in it as a margin. So we've been through a lot this year as Port fans. So to have that atmosphere, at the ground and being a part of that was such a special moment, I think, for everyone, and for everyone to come together and culminate into that. And we put on a show. Like, Port Adelaide were fantastic, especially, as I said, in the second half. Connor Rosie was best on ground, the Showdown medalist, his first one, which I expect first of many, because he's just a beautiful, beautiful player. That's the one way to describe him. He's just a beautiful player. The way he moves, the way he's in there ferociously in the contest. He's quick out of the contest. His skills are magnificent. Goal kicking as well. He's crafty. He's just the full package, and it's come to showing that this year, and he's been able to achieve a lot more than we expected. He'll finish top of Port Adelaide's coaches' votes this year. He'll be a Peter Badco medalist, Showdown medalist now, probably, I reckon, in the top 40 All-Australian. And he's just been a magnificent player, and one that's going to hold a lot of light in the future for Port Adelaide fans. Same with Zach Butters, who was awesome. And as Dermot Burton described him in the broadcast as a punk, which is quite fitting considering he definitely has that annoying attribute of just being in your face and letting you know about things and really just always niggling at you. And it was that's exactly what a Showdown is as well. And that was really good to see how, and even Dersma too. I thought Dersma was really, really impressive, and he deserves a bit of spotlight as well. 2 goals, had 20 touches, and was just a really good mover around the ground, and he felt free as well on that wing. So plenty to come in 2023 for him. And yeah, we had down back, Fogarty for the Crows was really good, and that's probably a weakness that was shown there, is we can't have Tom Jonas playing as a key defender on someone like Fogarty, who's big and bustly, and whilst he was as competitive as he could be, Tom Jonas, he just got a little bit hard done by with the outbodying, and Fogarty had sticky hands, so it was tough to really get a grip on that. Tex Walker was really quiet, which was sensational. Well done to Aaliyah for his work right there, and Houston, Burton, they were fantastic. Darcy Ben-Jones as well, I thought was fantastic. First time in a while I've actually looked at him and gone, hey, you're moving really well. Your skill set was unbelievable. And your attack on the footy, especially that, I think it was one late in that third quarter, the Crows could have brought it back to 20 points. And Lockie Murphy had a chance and tried to get out of the Darcy Ben-Jones tackle that he just stuck, and it was a textbook tackle as it was described in the commentary box. So, I thought our defensive unit was obviously fantastic to not concede over 60 points, 55 for the Crows, 111 for Port Adelaide. We kicked 7 goals in that last quarter. Could have been a bigger margin too if we kicked straight. And that's where it comes in. Robbie's set shot in the third quarter. First quarter too, we had Finlayson. Finlayson missed it at the end of the third quarter. And then there was shots in the first quarter too that we probably should have kicked. So we sort of kept the Crows in it at stages, but that's something we've just got to work on with our set shot, goal kicking. Another thing to the list with finishing games, set shot, goal kicking, and countless amounts of other things that we're going to need to improve come 2023. But overall, as a Showdown as a whole, an absolutely fantastic night. Jed McEntee as well, I will mention. He was very, very impressive too. Very Showdown spirit he's got built in him with his ferocious tackling and his attack on the footy. Goal kicking as well, did really, really well. And hopefully he can benefit from a good pre-season and comes in and maybe takes a 22 spot up forward, and we don't have to really go look for a small forward because he could be it. So interesting to see how it all pans out. But overall, yeah, as I said, it's a magnificent Showdown. It was an amazing night, and I was just, it was an emotional roller coaster throughout the whole time. And I'm going to miss Robbie Gray because he's the second favourite to Travis Boak. He's an amazing human being, been through so much, and for it to culminate into a Showdown win with 2 goals, I'm going to miss Robbie Gray. Thank you so much, Port fans, for watching this review. It's been a magnificent year we've had as a pair family, and it's been a tough year on the field, but we've all stuck tight. And I look forward to bringing you many more reviews across 2024. Such a shame the way the season has to end with no finals, but in saying that, we've just got to come back and prove, and this time turn up from the start and go again. Thank you so much for watching, Port fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way in the off season. Plenty more still to pan out this year with trades and draft and list management. So we'll get into that nitty gritty stuff and the AFLW, of course. We cannot forget the first season for the girls as well. So make sure you tune in on the channel for that. Other than that, thanks for watching. My name's Anthony, and as always, thank you, Robbie Gray.